Hi Scorpio, welcome in your monthly reading for the month of March. Let's see what kind of energy is there for you. Okay? Alright. Let's see. Scorpio in March. What's the energy for Scorpio in March? Okay. And we have a Devil reversed and 10 of Wands reversed. Alright, so being basically overwhelmed by your own faults, feelings, desires, goals, whatever it is, but I get a feeling like whatever it is, you'll be kind of overwhelmed with it. It might have a lot to do with like fears, you know, like overthinking, and we have a Justice reversed. Yeah, a lot of imbalance, a lot of kind of like wanting to kind of different things, I would say. It's like a wrong type of focus that is not aligned with what you really want. But either way, a lot of like overwhelming feeling, but mostly with yourself, I would say. At the core of it. Okay, Scorpio for March. What else is there? Also maybe some troubles with some people or something, being like mad. Yeah, like not being able to get over something, especially when it comes to like some kind of sadness, depression, or loss of something. It might have to do with some kind of people doing kind of like wrong things and you not being able to kind of like forgive them, and really like overthinking about the stuff. But it doesn't have to do with other people, doesn't have to do anything to do with other people, but I'm like kind of getting this idea that someone else is maybe a little bit involved in it. Either way, this type of injustice and just being like very overwhelmed with it, and like trying to overthink it while it doesn't really bring you anything. Yeah, but a lot of like negativity and looking only like on a bad side of things, I would say. Yeah, but a lot of like being on the edge, kind of being very overwhelmed, and basically yeah, we have 5 of Wands. Yeah, a lot of like unfairness going on, and trying to like seek the justice but like not receiving it, you know what I mean? Like a lot of injustice, and I as I'm saying, you get like a feeling like some people are involved into it, and I feel like you're feeling a lot of like injustice on yourself, and a lot of like overwhelming thoughts and feelings, like stress, you know, like depression, or like a lot of anger towards people, and a lot of like fighting, a lot of like, you know, trying to bring things to balance but being very like depressed over stuff. Yeah, I just get a feeling like you have a lot to like kind of put onto yourself in March, and I feel like you're kind of looking for this justice. But yeah, a lot of like, I feel like a big part in why you're overwhelmed here is because you're like very attached to those thoughts and feelings. There's just a lot of like kind of like fixing on negativity and on bad things going on and problems and this injustice, which makes it hard to move on. And we have 7 of Cups reversed and 5 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, feeling like very lost, and I feel like because you feel very lost and you feel like lack of this direction, I feel like that's why you will not be having like a clear focus, and that's why you are getting like fixed onto the stuff. So as much as it is not beneficial for you to get into the stuff, you have to also have like an awareness, where does it come from. And I feel like in your situation, where does this all anger and like fixing on those negative thoughts and feelings and situations comes from, is exactly because you're feeling lost in the situation. I get the feeling like whatever was kind of taken away from you, or like whatever you lost, or whatever you're getting kind of like sad about, whatever this is the situation that happened, I feel like it makes you feel like very lost, you know. And that's why you're kind of, because you don't have a clear focus and you're like very confused and disoriented, you're kind of like focusing on this. And again, there's nothing like particularly wrong with it. as long as you have awareness where does it come from, it will be easier for you to move on from it, you know, and see the facts, you know, as they are. Because I feel like now, in the March, you'll be kind of like living through those false imaginations, scenarios in your head, rather than seeing the reality and what you can do right now at this present moment to fix your situation or feel better or move on with your life, you know. I feel like there's too much of a like fixation, like fixing around, you know, trying to make sense out of the situation, or trying to make it better, or trying to feel good about it, or trying to resolve the situation, while it's not something that you should be focusing on in March, Scorpio. I feel like there's too much like just being in your head rather than seeing the reality at the present moment and what you can do about it, basically. What else is going on under the surface for Scorpio? We have a 3 of Wands reversed. Alright. Yeah, just not having like a clear view on what you want to do right now and like where you should move on. But honestly, I don't feel like it's something like purposeful, or you know, like something you do consciously. I just get a feeling like you're very stuck and you don't know what to do exactly. If you should like you see, here I'm getting like this feeling of you don't know if you should focus on what was lost and on this past situation resolving it, or if you should focus on what you have right now still, you know, to use. If you should like focus on past and what happened, you know, or if you should focus on moving on with present moment, you know. And I feel like that's exactly where this fixation comes from this confusion around what you should do and focus on. Like, should you wait for the situation to resolve it and, you know, still keep thinking about it, or should you like move on to something else, you know. That's why I'm getting like a lot of confusion around it, a lot of like trying to figure out the situation instead of seeing like reality at the present moment and what you should do, you know. Like I see like this out of like reflection, you know. But I'm always like, I would say I have like this feeling or rather like belief that anything that doesn't like, you know, bring you anything, basically like you should move on from it. Because basically if you focus on something that basically on something that cannot be fixed, you know, or that you have no effect on, or you cannot really do anything about it, like it's not worth focusing on it, you know. Yes, I feel like I always like search for justice or waiting for this justice to happen, or focusing on this injustice that happened to you and this unfairness and whatever happened on those conflicts. I don't think it will bring you really anything. So yeah, that's what I'm getting here. Anyway, let's move on to the truth about the situation. What is going on, you know. Well, honestly, I would like to pull out more clarification to have like a better, clearer view on the situation. Like, what is the situation about exactly? What is the situation exactly about? Scorpio in March. Scorpio in March. Alright. Well. Okay, and we have the justice. Okay. So I feel like in month of March, Scorpio, it's all about like justice for you, focusing on finding this justice and trying to fight for yourself, basically, you know. I get a feeling like with this 5 of Wands reverse, there's something you're fighting about, you know. And again, why are you confused? Because that's what I'm getting here is that why you're confused is exactly because you're still kind of in this situation. So it's not like you can just, you know, walk away and say bye, you know. Like, I feel like why you're confused is exactly because you're still in this situation, you're still in middle of this conflict, you know, and you don't know what to do about it, you know. That's what I'm kind of getting here. And I feel like you have to fight for something, for yourself, for justice, for you know, resolving the situation. I feel like you just need answers, basically, and you need for this situation to be resolved, because it's not something you can just jump around. And that's why I think you'll be so trapped within your thoughts and within your fears and stress about it, especially like stress. I get also like stress and being overwhelmed and trying to figure out the solution for something that seems like to not have any solution, you know. That's why I think you'll be so lost. Honestly, it seems very like bothering. I would be bothered too with that energy. Okay, let's see what is the truth about this situation. Maybe that will help us somehow, because I don't want you to leave you only with that. Okay, and we have a 7 of Cups. Okay, and what next? What is the truth for Scorpio for March? What is the clarification we can get about this energy? What is the realization about the situation for Scorpio for March? What Scorpio has to know? What is something to be realized? Okay, and we have the Moon, and let's pull out one more. Ooh, okay, that is not one more, but that is good enough. And we have a Hermit, and we have a 10 of Cups. Okay, so what you have to be aware of, Scorpio, in the month of March is the realization that has to be made is basically that all of your kind of like facing here, all of what's kind of on your way here, is basically the fears you have. You're kind of like over exaggerating the fears here, you know? Like, obviously with this Devil reverse, like there is too much fears going on, there is too much overthinking going on, and like illusions, you know? Like overwhelming fears, overwhelming stress about things. But it's kind of like, you know, like it doesn't have to be real, just like, you know, you're stronger than you think you are, and you can like deal with it, you know? You don't have to like over exaggerate those fears. And I feel like those fears come mostly from the fact that you don't know what to do, and there's a certain unfamiliarity around the situation, you know? And that's the only reason why you're tapping so much into the fears about this situation, because it's unfamiliar to you. But just because it's unfamiliar to you doesn't mean, you know, you have to be scared of it, or that the verdict of the situation is like obvious, you know? And what here is for you to do is to realize that the only way to go about the situation, you know, is to basically make your own choice about what you want to do with it. It's not nothing that you can, you know, I'd say it, that there will be no answers coming to you. It's basically all about finding your own path. This card is speaking about unfamiliarity and moving through darkness, basically discovering through darkness, you know, through things that you don't know, you know. And it's what would be good for you to do in the month of March, Scorpio, is basically move through this darkness and try to figure it out on your own, you know, based on what kind of fulfills you and feels right to you. There's a lot about intuition, you know. Just because the situation is unfamiliar and from the outside point of view you don't know what to do about it, doesn't mean that there's no answer, because intuitively you know what to do basically. But you have to move through with your intuition, not with your fears and stress and assumptions about the situation. So as much as I get, the situation is kind of like very overwhelming for you because it's very unfamiliar, very like you feel lost in it and you don't know what to make out of it basically. I feel like the way to go about it is go basically with your intuition and finding your own path and your own answers while at it, you know? And basically trusting more in your inner feelings and your intuition about it, you know? Because I feel like everything you need in this situation you already have, you know? Like there's always the right thing to go about, the right thing to do, you know? So I feel like the important thing is to basically stop going through with your fear. Like obviously you're like being completely controlled by what you're saying to yourself, your fears, your assumptions, your stress, you know, your scenarios in your head about this, you know, and like negativity about it, and just like no clarity at all, you know. That's what I'm getting here from you, and this has to kind of go, you know. You have to like find your own path in it, you know, and your own fulfillment of what is the outcome of the situation that is aligned not in with what you want to do, what you need from the situation, like justice, like the answers. Just remember to like separate your ego from what's actually your intuition and your what your fulfillment and your own kind of like, you know, inner feeling, because there is like even though it's hard to like separate those two, there's like a big difference between those, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you. And let's see what is the spiritual kind of energy behind it for Scorpio in March. Spiritual outcome. Ooh, okay, we have a Fool. And Scorpio for March. 7 of blood. And one more for Scorpio for March. What is coming in? Spiritual outcome. Okay, so I'm getting here actually a funny message, like a funny vibe here. Like basically just be like a fool. I know it sounds weird, but like just be a fool, you know? Like if the situation is unfamiliar, if you don't know what to do about it, you know, like you cannot go actually wrong about it, you know? If the situation is confusing, like and you don't see like a right way to go about it, just be like a fool, be like a child, you know, I would say, you know. And what I mean by that is like explore, you know. There's no wrong. If there's no wrong answer, you cannot go wrong, you know what I mean. That just go about it as a way of exploring, you know, and just doing whatever feels right to you. I feel like it's important that you will kind of have like a fresh new mindset type of deal, where you just go with what you feel at the moment, and even though it might seem stupid or foolish or you know, not thought through for you, I feel like that's the right way to do. Just basically go with your intuition, go with what usually works, what you usually do, you know. And by that I mean something intuitive, something like just go with your inner feeling, go with, you know, what you would do usually. Just because it's confusing doesn't mean you have to like be confused about it, basically. Like, you know, as a children, we come into this world and like we don't know nothing, and through that we still learn and grow, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. So if that's the deal with you in the month of March, Scorpio, like that is kind of like a good advice actually. There's no need to keep yourself stuck, especially in that place. Oh my god, this is such a scary place, honestly. It's not worth it. I feel like there is also a little bit of pressure on discovering yourself and exploring your own self within that, especially with that Hermit and the Fool. Like, I feel like there needs to be like this time to... I feel like this is an opportunity for you to discover yourself, like through discovering the situation while being kind of blind and confused. Like, you're discovering yourself with this 5 of Pentacles reversed. Like, you don't know where is your home, you don't know where is your place, you know. But you don't have to keep being on the streets homeless, you know, type of deal. You can find a new house, you can find a new identity, you can find a new beliefs, you can find yourself like all over again. Be it in like spiritual way or like in a practical way, you know. Like whatever it is, like find your own path, find yourself again, find your home again, you know. That's what I'm getting here, you know. Like start the journey again and start something new, you know. That's what I'm getting here. Think into the future, you know. Do the right thing for now that will help you in the future. That's what I'm getting here. Don't think about what is now or what was in the past. Think about the future. Even though you might be left with nothing right now, you know, type of deal. What is important right now is for you to kind of move on into the future and think for the future, you know. Start planting seeds for future. If you're left with nothing right now, it's not worth to like sit around and watch those, you know, like plants that basically died. Because in that time you could be planting a new ones. You know, that's kind of the deal I'm getting here. So yeah, I'm getting like something deep here, honestly. But yeah, whatever you do in the month of March, Scorpio, like the basic like potential spiritual lesson from it I'm getting, the potential outcome from this month is for you to do what you have to do to have a better future. you know, and start something new. Start exploring new. Just because you left in the situation where you don't know anything doesn't mean that you have to be stuck in place. Like, we all are fools. We all don't know, you know, sorry for that. We all don't know everything, you know. We all go through life and learn, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in starting fresh. There's no shame in exploring something new, and there's no shame in being wrong or making mistakes, you know. So I feel like it's important for you, Scorpio, in the month of March to basically go in the new direction and start this thing that you might be scared even about, you know. If you're scared of starting something new, if you're scared to go and finding this new home, you know, knocking on the doors and asking someone, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. So the important message for you is to actually do what's necessary for your future and for your well-being in the future, and start planting new seeds, you know. Do new things. Be that fool. Start as though you're being a child born into this world once again, and you're just going all in, you know. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's a very strong message for me. Like, quite nice, honestly. Feels nice. Very, like, liberating, the energy I'm getting here, you know. Like, just not caring, being happy where you are right now, and using all opportunities you have on your way and everything you can make out of it in the future, you know. That's a very nice energy I'm getting here, honestly. Just finding this comfort and fulfillment in your life once again. Even if it was lost, even though you lost it, you can still find something new or find it again, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. As much as it might be, you know, annoying for you, as much as it might be embarrassing for you, or, you know, like, hopeless for you, that is, in my opinion, from what I see, like, the best way to go for you. Just start fresh new. Just go for it. As fast, the best is the better. The faster you plant this new seed, the better, you know. Yeah, and definitely don't listen to those fears. Just, it's not worth getting stuck on them. And I get a feeling like whoever needs to hear that, you have way more potential than you think you have. Okay? That's what I'm getting here. Way more potential. You are capable of way more than you can think. It's just the time for this new beginning and just going and re-exploring yourself and your life. Either way, I hope it helped you, Scorpio. I hope it gives you some clarity. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think. I love reading your comments. I love hearing what is going on with you right now. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more content like that, subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in my next one. Thank you.